This is the Motory Wojny Museum, or Motors of War Museum. So. Guys, which I believe was a show. Four-wheel steering. Obviously, it's German BMW. Interesting how the Germans were so fascinated with independent suspension even back during the war. No, it's all right then.
Those particular models are presented by the collectionist and restorator Vyacheslav Young.
This one appears to have had a bit of a run-in. So. Got riddled. So. Gaz 64. One of the very earliest of the Soviet, we'll call them Jeeps. Interesting thing, it's a four-wheel drive sedan. Turns out neither Subaru nor Eagle were the first. T-34. But you know, I knew the T-34 was not a big tank, but seeing it in person, it's surprising how small it is. When you compare it with like an Abrams or something, it's micro. But there's that famous sloped front armor. Gaz 67. I would actually love to have one of these. That one is missing an engine. This is a Mali tank, meaning small tank, and it is indeed small. I am taller than it is, and it weighs a whopping 5,800 kilograms. .45mm anti-tank cannon, 19K. It says Sovietsky Geroy, meaning Soviet heroes. I believe this is a T-35. Land battleship, though there's no actual marker for it, so I'm gonna have to guess. But this was another one of those tanks that did not turn out to be effective in combat, though it certainly looks impressive when you're just walking around it. Here we have a Command Automobile Willys MB. This is 43. We provided a number of these for Lend-Lease. You see these restored in America all the time, but you don't normally see them restored with Soviet livery. So this one seems to have a little bit of a combination between US and Soviet. 101st Airborne. Another American GMC. Harley WLA. Dodge Weapons Carrier 56. it can be that way for a number of reasons. They use the tracks instead of wheels for.
They wouldn't deflate.
Well, that's one reason, but also it does provide extended mobility over rough ground, and also it can just handle more weight as well. So. Another Dodge weapons carrier. It says "За наша советская родина," which means "for our Soviet motherland." Hey, Soph. I'm afraid I can't translate some of this art. It says "glory to" what's that? There's
Brave spies. And this side says Nazi.
yeah, it's yeah. I got the fascist. Got it. I got you. Beat the Nazi assholes, huh? So. Katyusha. What's that? This one?
Well,
I have no idea.
general tanks.
They normally don't. This one has a maximum speed of 41 kilometers per hour, looks like. So. And this is. That'll show. Probably close to being anyway. That says trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trophy.
Yeah. So. Well, this was a German. This was a German command car, and it. Oh, excuse me, that's the wrong one I was looking at. It's an Austrian command car, but it was clearly taken trophy by the Red Army. So. Конечно. Serves different purposes. Uses there's a technological progression as well, and of course, you're seeing a number of different countries represented here. There's obviously Soviet, but there's also German, Austrian, Italian, American, and British that I've seen so far. Well, I can tell you why Humvees are wide. Humvees are wide basically because the Humvee's predecessor, the M151 series, that was called the Mutt, but most people just called them Jeeps. They had a big rollover problem. A number of soldiers were killed in rollover accidents. So first, they redesigned the suspension a couple of times, and none of that worked. And then they added a roll cage that they call the rollover protection system. And then that still didn't seem adequate. So that's a T-34, by the way, very famous Soviet tank. I believe it is Vedian, But, and then they finally decided they wanted to design a replacement for the M151, and they wanted to make sure it didn't roll very well. Little Hohner accordion. But here we have some pictures drawn by children. T-34 Victory. So, and then of course that. So, some of them I have to say were pretty artistically inclined.